everybody.
Everyone. Welcome.
I keep forgetting that thing just times out on its own.
Yeah.
It doesn't give us time to be in the background. But yeah.
Welcome, everybody. So, we're back. Casual Conversation with GNA. We're doing Conversation 88, Submersible incident. You know, I'm pretty sure everyone's heard about it. It's been all over the news. It's been everywhere.
Hey, John. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, Frankie Too Sweet. Yukon, hello. Mr. David, hello. How have you been? Brown Dwarf. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
So, we're going to talk about the submersible because Eileen's been obsessing with it.
Yeah, it's because, TikTok does that, right? Like, you just see stories and then you get into them. Oh, hey.
So, okay. So it's been found for those people that don't know. I had high hopes that they were
I know, I did too. And I was like, can you imagine that be one heck of a story?
Yeah, like we were lost at sea.
Yeah.
And we only had 72 hours of oxygen left.
But yeah, and then they made it and they could have made a movie or a documentary,
I don't know. I mean, in the first place, I don't think I would go.
Yeah.
That's not something I'm interested in. If you go down there and you record the Titanic, I'll be happy to see pictures or video, but I don't think I would want to do like an excursion like that, like what is it like?
Like underwater,
in the
depths of the ocean.
No, not that deep, especially. But if you guys don't know, we're going to talk about it, what happened, and then I wanted to share other stuff too, other news, because I feel like there's other things going on too that are important as well. So yeah.
But also to see perspectives, your thoughts, right?
Yeah, we want to know what you guys think about it because
but
open dialogue.
Yeah, but based on what you said, I wouldn't go. That sounds really scary.
Yeah. Especially not on a van size vehicle.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I still wouldn't go. Even if I did a ton of research on the best, submarines, I don't know. That's just creepy to me to be in the depth of the ocean like that. And there's tons of creatures there,
Yeah. And there's a lot of undiscovered creatures too. So, I mean, we just talked about the sounds under the ocean not that long ago.
And then it's dark and it's cold. I don't know. Just not a place I'd want to
Not
go.
For you?
Yeah.
All right. Oops. Sorry. Okay. So let's go, Eileen. Okay. Do you want me to talk about this?
Yeah, and then you want me to get
okay. So who owns and operates this Titan sub? The Titan was operated by Ocean Gate Expeditions, a Washington-based private company that offers chartered deep-sea exploration for commercial and scientific purposes. The company has also become known for the leading deep-sea tourism trips. Its first trip to the Titanic were in 2021 and 22. And Ocean Gate has said it would return to the shipwreck annually to survey its decay. Ocean Gate has led more than a dozen underwater trips, including to oh my God, she scared me.
I forgot she was here.
Shipwrecks like the Andrea Doria, which lies up to 240 feet underwater near Nantucket. In addition to the Titan, it operates two other 5-person submersibles in a fleet, Antipods and Cyclops 1. Okay, I don't care about all that. Let's see. So, all right, this is important. So, okay, so the Titanic, just so you guys know, is 12,500 feet down. So that seems,
I think it was a little
far
over
as heck.
A little over 2 miles in depth, I guess, in the ocean.
I know, but
they were saying that it was a little more over 2 hours to get there.
It takes 2 hours to get there from drop
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's not counting
Yeah, that
like
you're like on the ship for 8 days, I believe, to get to that
dude,
location.
that's
And
insane.
then, yeah.
Okay. Ocean Gate has for years faced criticism from experts about Titan's safety. And so some employees have, said that they were worried
Mhm.
and they warned about the thickness of the Titan's hull and the potential dangers to the passengers of the Titan as the submersible reached extreme depths. Okay. And so more than 3 dozen experts subsequently sent a letter to Ocean Gate CEO and saying that it's an experimental approach and the results were negative, which is scary.
Yeah, negative outcomes that could be minor to
Ocean
catastrophic.
Gate offered a response of sorts in 2019, and they explained why the company had decided not to class the Titan, that is, get an independent group to evaluate whether the series of standards, including safety, have been met. So they were like, okay, yeah, you think that, but we're doing our thing, so leave us alone. Okay, like chill. And so basically, it seemed to me like they were not taking it seriously.
Yeah, and like the quote that said right there, I guess that was like one of the quotes. It said, "Innovation often falls outside the existing industry paradigm." So, I guess they were just trying to be innovative.
All right.
Right?
Well, okay. Well, we'll get into this because like it's starting to piss me off already. So let's see what happened to it. Eileen's gonna explain what happened to it. Go.
Okay, when and where.
Wait. Let me see if there's any comments. How big was the submarine? I think it was. They said it was like a van size.
Yeah, I can't
like a
remember
minivan.
if they said it was like 15 or 20 feet. Yeah, but like the size of a minivan. Yeah.
I'd go in a nuclear U.S. Navy ship. Hey, okay. A lot of people don't understand the amount of pressure that the ocean has the further you go down. Yeah. And not only that, okay, just think about it. When you go in a pool, you feel the pressure. Okay. You feel like a little bit of tight chested.
Yeah.
Like you're like, okay, like I can't breathe.
Let me just tell you, okay? So, one of my uncles, he lives in like this area where there's like a really deep pool, right? I think it's about like 20 feet. Nobody really knows. But my cousins, like, they swim there often. I just go and watch because I'm not a good swimmer. So I don't really want to like risk it because it's deep. But anyways, every time they swim, they always try to get to the bottom and they say they can't. Like they're like, we just can't reach the bottom even if we like jump dive or whatever.
Yeah, because there's like rocks that they jump off of, like big rocks. It's like a little cliff, like a mini cliff, and they jump down and they can't.
And they try to reach the bottom and they say that they just can't because the pressure like hurts their ears. Like they're like, we just can't do it.
Yeah, like,
and that's 20 feet.
That's like not even that deep, and you're already feeling it. So, all right, what happened, Eileen?
Okay, so after departing from St. John's on the eastern edge of Newfoundland on June 16th, the Polar Prince dropped anchor roughly 900 miles east of Cape Cod and was scheduled to deploy the Titan at 3 a.m. Eastern Time the morning of June 18th. Although the Coast Guard said it didn't begin its descent at around 7 a.m. Eastern Time, the sub was supposed to send out a ping every 15 minutes during its descent down to the Titanic shipwreck, nearly 13,000 feet below the ocean's surface. The entire voyage was supposed to take place just 2.5 hours, but the Polar Prince lost contact with the Titan approximately an hour and 45 minutes into the trip, triggering a desperate search for the missing sub.
Okay, so basically that's when they think it imploded, right?
Yeah.
At that moment when they lost the contact. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering, wasn't there signals that the people could have sent to them? Like, wasn't there a way that they could have communicated, hey, we hear some popping noises?
Yeah. And like they said that like the submersible, like it was built like to where if it had a crack or anything, that it would like it had like a little alert system that would alert like, oh, there's like they would have known, that that was like the case. But I don't know, I feel like there's like a lot, like there's like that sound that they would hear, right? And then also that they picked up with the sonar.
Yeah, but they said it wasn't
like
them.
related to that,
because they think what they're thinking is that it imploded right at like right away. Like it didn't even give them time to really process it.
Yeah, because
and if you guys don't know, like imploding is basically like the pressure so tight that it smashes, like it just collapses in itself. And it looks very crazy.
Yeah, so okay, so like if we get into that real quick, so I guess the description is kind of like where like obviously like we've been talking about the pressure of the ocean and how it's very strong. I think they said like 300 times stronger than like land, or I can't recall, but anyway, so the pressure is very strong, and I guess like if this submersible had like a crack or something, that pressure would go inside and kind of like not necessarily like match up to like what's outside, but like have a really crazy amount of pressure that it would like cause it like to implode, right? And I guess that's what happened, and I guess they only had like they really didn't realize it because it was like a millisecond or something like that.
It happened really fast.
Like, where it's like really quick.
So it says the air in your lungs compress, and that's the reason why they feel the pressure. Hey, Eddie. There should have been a distress system between the sub and the ship. That's true. Hey, Wedge. Yeah, so this is what I got. So basically, while traveling at a depth of 9,990 meters in the trench northeast of New Zealand in 2014. Wait, is this a total wrong one?
Let me see. The pressure at 12,500 feet below the surface, 400 times greater than at sea level. They're designed to withstand such crushing water pressures, but I think like based on how it was built, like the material, right?
I don't know. It doesn't look safe at all, though.
It doesn't.
Because I was trying to figure out how many feet down they were when it.
Yeah, like how far did they get before like this happened?
Yeah, so because they said it was an hour and 45 minutes.
So like kind of almost like halfway there.
Yeah. So I don't know. Okay, Eileen, you want to talk about who was on board?
Okay, so who was on board? There were 5 people aboard the Titan submersible, including Stockton Rush, the 61-year-old pilot. He was the founder and CEO of OceanGate Expeditions, which organized the expedition that the submersible embarked on to see the wreckage of the Titanic. Rush was an aerospace engineer with a well-documented love for deep-sea exploration and designing experimental aircraft and modded submersibles. So, which he maneuvered through a modified video game controller, right?
Dude.
Yeah,
social media has been going crazy about the remote. Okay. Like we have a remote right here. Like not because of this, but one of my kids' remotes, he just left it here. And I was like, dude, really? Like
I'm like, that's crazy. Like
it does not seem professional, like
or like reliable,
dude,
or safe.
Yes, like you would think it would have something more advanced. You could even like control it with your tablet. I don't know, maybe. But people were just making fun of the fact that, and which is not, I don't think it's right for people to make fun of the situation. But they were just making fun of the fact that you would trust somebody that's using a remote control
and spend such a huge
amount of money. It wasn't cheap. It was how much was it?
$250,000.
$250,000 to take a ride or for it to give you a tour.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking like for that price, like if you're gonna spend that much, would you research like, hey, what is the best submarine? Like, right? Like the best reviews, like the best like way there, like who has like the best, you know what I mean?
Probably NASA.
Like the safety Okay.
All right. Are we
We're
good?
back.
Okay. All right. Are we
We're
good?
back.
Yeah, I think we're back. Okay, so what it said, would you think a sales pitch for the controller is that is it?
Is that it's alternative steering?
No, like that's insane. Hold on,
And then the other comment, it says, all to see a sunk ship.
Yeah, and Eddie's right. Like, how curious are you? Is this like something that is in your bucket list, like kind of like going on to like hiking Mount Everest?
Yeah.
Right? To where that there's a high possibility that you might die out there. Like, I don't know. That's
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we lagging again? No, I don't think so. I don't know what's wrong with this.
I think we froze. No, or we're good.
No, it looks like
oh no, we're good. So just to read one of the other comments, we can't. Oh, let me see. You might pull it up now. No. Oh, the hull was aluminum and the tip of the sub was titanium. The front of the sub.
Yeah. The server imploded. Okay. Go.
Okay. I think the U.S. Army submarines use Xbox controllers to operate the submarine's photonic mast. Yeah.
That's a trip. Maybe, I mean, who knows? Maybe what if the controller breaks and falls? Or what if like you drop it and then it like pushes something it's not supposed to?
Or like the battery dies or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like what if the battery, yeah.
And you forgot to charge it or something,
Curiosity deletes the cat. Skydiving with a parachute. Yeah, like
that's crazy.
Like, I guess you have to be like the type of person, I think, that likes to live on the edge, like the adrenaline, because that's scary. All of that is scary. I mean, recently, I don't know if you guys saw it. I don't know. Was it in Florida where a family was on the boat was pulling them on a parachute? They do that.
Parasailing.
Parasailing. And I guess it was too windy, and then they couldn't reel
It
them
was
back
like
in, so
lifting the
they cut
boat.
it. They cut the, what is it, with the knife? They cut
Yeah, the
the
rope.
rope with a knife, and they flew away. And then the guy was like, "Oh, don't worry,
The bridge.
they're gonna get caught by the bridge," which the mom, I think, ended up dying.
Yeah.
And I think the two kids that were with her were like severely like injured.
That's crazy.
Even that is scary.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Back to the submersible.
All right. So I guess that's just info on the same guy. Let's see.
Yeah, the video controller thing. I don't know.
So Hamish Harding, a 58-year-old British billionaire with a penchant for adventure to extremes of the Earth. So in 2016, he visited the South Pole with astronaut Buzz Aldrin. So he holds 3 Guinness World Records, including one for a more than 4-hour dive in the deepest part of the Mariana Trench. Last year, he joined a 6-person crew of a suborbital flight with Blue Origin, the space exploration company started by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. He also flew planes and was a skydiver. In 2022, he was inducted into the Living Legends of Aviation and awarded, and so an award recognizing people who have made significant contributions to aviation. So
basically he liked it. He was
Yeah.
like that type of guy that liked you know, that the adrenaline, like
Yeah, he was
exploration,
like
like
so a third member that was on board, right? Paul Henry Nargillet, a 77-year-old former commander of the French Navy, was a deep sea search expert who completed the last 35 dives to the wreck of the Titanic, an authority on the famous shipwreck. He was also the director of underwater research at the RMS Titanic Inc., which was an exclusive rights to salvage artifacts from the wreck. He was a part of the Air France Flight 447 search efforts helping to find the plane that had disappeared over the Atlantic Ocean. So he was into like the whole like Titanic, right?
okay.
So fourth passenger, Shahzada Dawood, so a 48-year-old Pakistani British businessman and philanthropist, had joined the Titan crew with his 19-year-old son Suleiman. He was the head of the Ingro Corporation, one of the largest conglomerates in Pakistan, which operates in the food and agriculture, energy and telecommunications sectors. He sat on board of trustees of his family foundation, which focuses on education in the sciences and technology. He was also on board with the SETI Institute, a renowned scientific research organization that imparts searches for extraterrestrial life.
What?
Yeah, so these were all the
That's
5
interesting.
passengers that were on board, and they were all connected because they have like a certain interest in like, you know, the Titanic, right? And so they wanted to experience that, but they also like were interested in exploring airspace and sea, and as well as having the financial means to pursue these passions. So yeah, like we had mentioned that these Ocean Gate Titanic expeditions cost $250,000 per passenger. So the company claimed that its aim was to increase access to deep sea for tourists and to contribute research on the wreck and its surrounding debris.
Yeah, because I don't know, like that's I don't know. It's too
There's a lot going
small.
on.
Yeah, there is
Yeah,
a
like
lot.
it just does not look safe.
Yeah, it doesn't look safe. It's expensive. I mean, it's scary. Okay. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a sensation seeker. It does seem kind of cheap to use a common toy as a component, but a good controller can take a beating. Oh. Still, why the Titanic? In my mind, there is no mystery surrounding it. We know exactly what happened. Yeah, and there's people, survivors, that explained what happened. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. People are just very fascinated by it. That's the only thing that I can think of. All right, so how did it work? The Titan was not a big submersible, nor was it designed for extended periods of underwater or capable of traveling to a port without help from another vessel, as naval submarines are. The teardrop-shaped vessel was at 22 feet long, could carry 5 people, and was equipped with one small porthole window on the front of the vessel where there was also a small toilet.
So like right there in the front where they have like the little window, that's where the toilet was located. And like,
do you think there's a picture of it inside, like the inside of it?
Well, I know that there's just like video footage.
Let me see if I can find a picture. What is it called? Ocean what?
Gate submersible.
Okay, so is it this one?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. Okay, I'm going to share the screen. Oh, I am not a robot. That's kind of scary because I don't know what this website is.
So yeah, like in one of the videos when they're like doing a little tour of like what it looks like from the inside, and they talk about like how the front of it is where they place the toilet, and he's like, oh, you get the best seat in the house. But like that should have been like not the toilet, you know what I mean, area. Like they should have moved it to the back so that like people can see through the window, right? So that you can actually see, because I mean that's what you're paying for, right? Like you would want to see it with your own eyes.
So this is the inside of it, and you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and it looks crowded. It doesn't look like you have a lot of room, and everybody just sees through that little window, like a mini window.
Yeah. But that they also see it through like the computers that they have and stuff, like through like, I guess it has like a camera outside or something like that, where like they view it. Like that's what I had heard.
That's crazy. So that's what it looks like, right? Like it'll be there and then it'll drop down. I think that's different, no?
Yeah,
that's like something different. So yeah, that's crazy. A shark can take a bite out of that.
I know, that's crazy.
Or a whale.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's crazy. It's just crazy to think about,
Yeah. Where was the sub made? Why or what do the sub manufacturers say? So they say, like, and that's the thing, that there was a lot of I would understand looking for Atlantis, but not Titanic. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So they were saying that there was other companies that weren't in agreement.
Yeah. Like
with
other
the safety,
experts, right?
Yeah, and so basically they said, it's all right. Don't worry about us. We know what we're doing. Like,
yeah, I think
that's what I get out of what I'm reading.
Yeah, it was like more of like ambitious to be like innovative, right?
Okay, so the cylindrical all metal interior otherwise lacked seats and was approximately the size of a minivan. And then it says Passengers were given sandwiches and water on board this voyage, I guess, which lasted. Oh no, that there was one that traveled. Wait, so there was a Titan that traveled in 2022, and the passengers were given sandwiches and water on board, which lasted 10 hours, during which the vessel's compass was acting weird, and the passengers only had about 20 minutes to view the Titanic.
Dang, for 250,000 for 20 minutes.
Because it traveled so deep in the ocean, the Titan could not use GPS to communicate with the polar prince through a text message system. It was piloted with a video game controller, which it is not as weird as it sounds. Even the Navy uses Xbox controllers. Okay, yes, somebody told us that. And okay, so the Titan submersible only had 96 hours of oxygen reserved on board. That means that as soon as the vessel went missing, the clock started ticking on remaining life support. It is not clear if the sub imploded before the oxygen supply ran out, but even if the sub had been able to resurface on its own, the passengers would have been stuck inside until help arrived, since the hatch was closed from the outside.
Yeah.
So
like, can we like get into that real quick? So I believe they disappeared on Monday, right? Like they went down on Monday and nobody knew, and then they were just like, everybody was like, okay, well, they only have like 96 hours of oxygen.
Which, remember that on Monday they lost contact with them an hour and 45 minutes to their descent.
Yeah.
So it was already probably that's when it happened.
Yeah. And then so they have like this amount of time for oxygen, right? Which like led them to like kind of like the rest of the week, maybe like Thursday, Friday, right? And this whole time they were trying to look for him because clock's ticking with like limited oxygen supply, right? So like just following the case, right? Because they had it all over the news, and everyone was like, well, hopefully they find him in time,
right,
because they just have like a limited time. And so that was everybody was hopeful, right? But then on Thursday, they
found like wreckage, like
the debris.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then it was very deep, and then like it just like there was another case that had happened, and I think it was with like a submarine, right? I don't recall where, but they actually did locate the passengers that were in there. It was 2 of them, and they only had like a spare of like 12 minutes of oxygen left.
Mm-hmm.
And like they said that they would like just stay still and like not talk, like just like
not move or anything.
Yeah, so to not like waste the oxygen they had, and that they had to like share a sandwich and like a drink between each other,
like eliminate it.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, so like.
But how long were they missing for?
I don't think it was that long. I don't recall. I don't remember. Yeah. But like, everybody was hopeful, but then like, that wasn't the case.
Okay. I know that Eddie had a question about the tapping, because they did hear.
Oh yeah.
So during the search and rescue, they contacted the Coast Guard after losing touch with it on Sunday afternoon. So this kicked off what has become an international rescue effort on the water and on the air. The search yielded a few updates until early Wednesday, when several what does it say? Maritime surveillance planes detected underwater noises, which is the banging noises that they were saying they were hearing in the area where the Titan went missing. The U.S. Coast Guard said during a Thursday press conference that they didn't appear to be connected between the noises and the location of the Titan's debris. So what was it?
Yeah, like that's weird. Like,
dude, that's the thing.
Like that was legit knocks.
We talked about noises underwater, remember?
Yeah.
So there's a array of things that we don't know if that's making noises underwater,
which is like weird. And then
the train one tripping out or not? Like, remember the train noise?
What the heck? Like, yeah. But then I had also seen that there was like, they had like a sound of an explosion. I don't know if that was like legitimate or not, but they said that was most likely like the sound of like, the submersible imploding, but I'm not like 100% sure if that was.
And
like
they were also saying that it could have been one of the one of the boats that was making the noise. I don't know.
Okay.
Or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, so like I
But
don't know
it's
if like
still crazy.
if we brought it to the attention that the Polar Prince was like the mothership, right? Like so it takes him to the destination, drops off the submersible, right? But like it has to be brought back up, right? Through it, right? Like it has to like hold on to it, bring it back up, and then they're able to like unscrew the front half, right?
Uh-huh.
So this whole time, that's what everybody was worrying, like, oh, are they gonna make it in time? Is there gonna be enough
Yeah.
time to bring them back up before like their oxygen level goes down? Because they still had to bring them up and they still had to like unlock that hatch, right? In order for
Yeah.
them to get out. So that was like one of the concerns.
The first time I heard the price for the ride, my first thought was, that's an expensive casket. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It was Bigfoot. You never know. Yeah, the knocking underwater does not sound travel a great distance underwater. Does not sound travel a great. I don't know, because these sounds that
That's interesting.
I mean, you guys can look at our other video where we share the sounds that we found weird, like under the ocean. They're pretty trippy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's like pretty clear.
Hi, Radio Vault. Hey, Bama. Cool to see you. He said Bigfoot and brown dwarf appears. All right, so back to that. Okay, so the search and rescue effort initially included a American C-130 aircraft and two Canadian P-3s aircraft that can deploy sonar
probes, which are the ones
sonar probes into the water, as well as British C-17 transport equipment on the surface. The Polar Prince and Deep Energy Bahamas flagged a pipeline ship with two remotely operated vehicles that can dive nearly 10,000 feet. Oh, so they brought all this equipment, basically, to go find them.
Yeah, and then their ROV, right, which was their remotely operated vehicle that reached the ocean floor on Thursday, and
and the ROV spotted debris 1,600 feet from the Titanic's bow on Thursday morning.
And they determined that was like
after it was determined that the debris was the nose cone of the Titan. The Coast Guard contacted the families of the lost crew members. The ROV ended up finding 5 total pieces of debris in 2 debris fields on Thursday, according to this sir. So, and the U.S. Navy, who said it was the totality of the vessel, when asked about the likelihood of recovering the remains of the crew, this is incredibly unforgiving environment down there. So basically, they couldn't recover anything. So why is it so difficult to explore the ocean? You're probably familiar with the 70% of Earth's surface is the ocean, but its depths are a much bigger mystery. According to the National Oceanic
Atmospheric
Administration, less than 10% of the world's ocean depths are mapped with sonar. Okay, just, like this whole situation, people on TikTok are doing like math on this. They're showing you how deep it is. Dude, just the perspective on what they use to show us how deep this thing is.
It was crazy.
It was tripping me out, because it's like a whole city. It could be like a city.
It's just very huge. Deep.
Like I don't even know. So think of the ocean floor not as flat or even, but with geological features just like land on the surface. There are canyons, plateau mountains, and submarine volcanoes, among other types of formations. Crucially, the technology we have to map above ground doesn't work as well underground. Water is a very good shield. It's excellent at attenuating light, radiation, and electromagnetism. All of our conventional tools for studying stuff, terrain mapping, can include satellite imagery and GPS, both of which can operate beyond rather shallow depths. So beyond 50 meters of depth, you really can't know what's going on unless you're physically there.
Yeah, and then if you go up, like they were mentioning something about, like, I don't think we mentioned it, that like the only thing it worked with was like through text messages, right? That they would send up to like the mothership because they couldn't track it because GPS doesn't work. So yeah.
Yeah, but it says that sonar waves, which can travel through water, are much more accurately. So via sonar, we can use echo sounding maps of the ocean floor to indicate the bathymetry. So there's also geodesy. I don't know what that is.
Satellite technology.
Oh, it's a technology that increasingly is being used to map measuring tiny changes in gravity, which can illustrate the bottom of the ocean. That's trippy.
Well, so the only things that have worked so far are like sonar and like cameras, right?
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Mr. Ron, how are you?
Hey.
You would have to point a gun to my head to get into something like that. It just let them get in.
That
World
is
Trade Center
crazy.
deep. Yeah, like they were showing like these buildings and it was crazy. I hope it was just an accident and not something else. I'm just so skeptical about the news today or these days. I thought it was crushed by a giant squid. And that's the other thing. We don't know what's down there really.
We don't know what's down there.
Something, it could have just like tapped on something and it got angry. And, I mean, I don't know. How big can these creatures get? And that's the other crazy thing. I've seen videos of like the oil rigs, right? They have cameras like and pipes that go under the ocean, and they've captured like creepy, like alien looking squids. Like, and they're huge. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Yeah, so I mean, there was a lot of people that were really interested in this story. They've been covering it closely online and social media. And it was funny because I was watching on TikTok how other people were talking about other news, right?
Yeah.
That this kind of that takes away from. So there's another thing going on, you guys, that I kind of wanted to touch on a little bit. So soon Americans are going to be able to try chicken that comes directly from chicken cells rather than a chicken rather than a chicken is what they're saying. So on Wednesday, the USDA gave the Upside Foods a good meat, the green light to start processing and selling their own lab-grown and cultivated chicken products in the United States. Don't run to the supermarket yet. It's going to be a while before you can buy cell-based meats in stores, though you should be able to get a taste at a restaurant sooner. Raise your hand if you're willing. In a nutshell, lab-grown meat or cultivated or cell-based meat is meat that is developed from animal cells that grown with the help of nutrients like amino acids in massive bioreactors. This happens in a production facility that looks a lot like a brewery. When you picture it, don't think of people in white coats and hairnets peering through microscopes into petri dishes, but instead, people in white coats, hairnets, wandering between giant vats. I don't know what that means. When the meat is ready, companies collect it from bioreactors and move it along the processing line. Good meat's protein looks a lot like minced chicken when extracted. And no. So what's so great about it, you guys? Let's see. I mean, let me see. Let me see if you guys have any.
Crazy.
What we do know is that sperm whales go further deep than the sub did to find giant squids to eat. Yeah, I saw that too. We haven't seen anything in the ocean. Sounds gross. 3D printed chicken, anybody? They said the pressure down there would be like having an Empire State Building's weight squeezing you from every angle.
That is crazy.
So everybody's throwing up on the chicken. Come on, you guys. Chicken nuggets. We'll never run out.
That's crazy.
That's from the
book 1984.
It looked like pork, tastes like pork, but it's not pork.
Crazy.
I'm good, brother. Oh, he's talking to somebody. I bet they go ahead with this and more people will have weight issues more so than now. Yeah, you guys, I mean, I can show you a picture of how good it looks. Okay, so what's so great about it? Growing meat from cells means that people can eat meat without having slaughtered animals. The cells it gathers from a fertilized chicken egg are stored in cell banks and can be used for at least 10 years. Animal cells can come from animal biopsies or even feathers, among other sources. There are environmental considerations as well. Agriculture, particularly animal agriculture, is responsible for a significant amount of greenhouse gas emissions, which contribute to climate change. Overhauling that system could ease the burden on the planet. All right, I'm gonna show it to you guys.
Crazy.
So, hey, maybe you guys will see the picture and be like, ooh, maybe I'll try it.
3D Pollo Loco, lab chicken. No to the chicken. Seaweed salad is good. Yuck.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna show it to you. And dinner is served.
I don't know.
All right, well, it looks like a chicken breast.
It does, huh? It does look like
Sorry for if you guys want some pants, there's a little commercial going on. But I mean, it looks like chicken breast, but it also looks like an Impossible burger. Like, I don't know. To make cultivated meat, energy use needs are high. Is it vegetarian though?
Yeah, that's an interesting.
It is not vegetarian, you guys. Unlike plant-based meats, like the products made from Impossible Burger. That's what I said. Impossible Burgers, Impossible Foods and meats. Cultivated meat uses animal cells, and so it is not considered vegetarian. So I don't know. I don't think I would try it. I don't know. Would you guys try it?
So let's see what other comments there are.
If that. Soylent Green. People started getting fatter when they waged war on fat.
Seaweed salad is nice.
My daughter likes the seaweed, the little seaweed. What is it called? Like the little snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Bear, how are you? So it is not vegetarian. I'm sorry, you guys. I wouldn't eat it though. I mean, and then what are the long-term effects of it? Like if let's say they put it out in the market and people start eating it and they really like it, how is it going to affect your health? I mean, yeah, they're talking about it like you're not slaughtering animals. We're saving greenhouse gases here, like it not having that in our planet. Okay, but what is the benefits for us and how is it going to affect our health?
Yeah.
So does it taste like regular meat? They're saying yes, it does. Would you guys do a try test maybe? Like if somebody, like if you're at the market and you're not, like Costco has a little like tasting, what is it?
Oh, like little like sampling.
Sampling. Would you sample it at least? Like, would you guys be willing to try it?
I don't know, man. That sounds crazy.
Some fats are good for you. Just have to know how much. Yeah, you're gonna start growing a feather. Blind taste test. I would have to be tricked into trying it. Yeah, I would be mad. I'd be like, dude, how come you didn't tell me this was like fake meat? Like, what's
Yeah.
up? Like, I'll get mad.
Uh-huh.
All right. So yeah, that's your I don't know. So
News for the day.
though, wait, I have another one. Hold on. So since we've been talking about the submersible, there was a little article that I saw too. I don't know if you guys heard of this. Pakistan Interior Minister said Friday that an estimated 350 Pakistanians were on board on a overcrowded fishing boat carrying migrants that sank off Greece last week, and many remain missing and may have died in one of the deadliest incidents in the Mediterranean Sea.
That's crazy.
Interior Minister, okay, so the guy, let me see, there were an estimated 700 migrants were on the boat when it sank on June 14th. Only 104 people, including 12 Pakistanians, were rescued and 82 bodies have been recovered. The total number of people on the ship has not been confirmed. That is sad, you guys.
Wow.
So far, 281 families have contacted the government saying their sons or dear ones might have been among these on the boat. The government has also launched a crackdown on human traffickers who arrange traveling. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
They paid between 5,000 to 8,000 to be snuggled. It said right there.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, look.
Officials say
voyage.
the victims paid the smugglers between 5,000 and 8,000 for the voyage. Greece has been widely criticized for not trying to save the migrants before the sinking in the international waters. Officials, that's sad. That's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, this boat looks crazy, you guys. Let me see. All right, let me see. Wow, that looks crazy.
Yeah, that's
Let me see if I can share it. Wait, what is this? All right, where is it? Right here. So that's what the boat looked like. It looked very
very crowded.
Yeah, very crowded. But that's so sad. Well, prayers to the families. Hopefully they find more people. All right. So, oh, hanging in there. Bear just moved into my new apartment. Oh, cool. My wife's fat is delicious. Gato gordo. All right. So, yeah, you guys, that's all we have for today. We just kind of wanted to jump in here and talk about that a little bit and see what your thoughts were on the whole scenario and our lab grown food. I'm pretty sure that pretty soon they're going to start like having everything lab grown, like vegetables, fruits, whatever you can think of. You know, I mean, we're already manufacturing a lot of our food, like over processing it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they start 3D printing meals, like a burger, you know, could be 3D printed.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
So, yeah, but thank you guys for coming. We appreciate everybody. And have a great weekend. And we'll see you guys next week. I don't know who else is going live today, but I'll probably be in the chat. So say hi. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.